How to prepare a Puerto Rican pernil or pork shoulder, part 2, cooking. Slow cooking in the oven. How y'all doing? This is part 2 of how to make a pernil or pork shoulder. Yesterday, or the last video, I made how to make this marinade. I have this in the refrigerator for 24 hours or 18 to 24 hours. Wrapped in saran wrap and just a regular shopping bag. Now I'm starting to unwrap it to get it ready to go into the oven. I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees. When the preheating time stops, I'm going to turn it down to 325. Alright, here's your pork shoulder. I'm going to put it in with the most skin side down. This is how I do it. I don't know how you want to do it. After about 2 hours of cooking, this cooks about 5 hours. About 2 hours of cooking, I flip the whole meat over so it will end up with the fat side up. And the rest of the cooking is done with the fat side up. So then it will get that crispy skin like you want. So, but for right now, we're going to do the fat side down. The only thing I'm going to do now is put a little water in. About every hour, I go in and I baste this. I just suck up a little water and put it over so it doesn't dry out because I don't cover it. Some people will cover it with aluminum foil for about half the cooking, but I don't. I let it like this. I'm using the convection part, so that means that the oven heats on the top and the bottom, so it's even cooking. It doesn't have to worry about the heat only coming from one side. So as soon as my oven is done preheating, I'll put this in. Okay, that means my preheating is done. I'm going to put this on stay on. Or you could just, if you're using a regular oven, you don't have to worry about any of these steps. Okay. This is convection. 350, and I'm going to turn it down to 325. And I'm just going to place it in the oven. Okay, I'll be back in a little while. Okay, my pernil's been in the oven for 1 hour. I'm just going to get my baster and put some of that juice over the meat and put it back in the oven for another hour at the same temperature, 325. And after the next hour, when the next timer goes off for 1 hour, I'm going to flip the meat over. Okay, my pernil's been in the oven for 2 hours now. What I'm going to do is take it out. At this time, if you wanted to add a little more water, sometimes the water cooks out. If you want to add more water so you can baste, I pour it right over. It's going back in for more hours anyway. And I don't have what I need here. Let's see. I'm going to grab 2 forks. Very carefully, we're going to flip the meat over. So now this side that's been cooking for 2 hours is going to go on the bottom. Let's try to do this without killing ourselves. Or burning ourselves. There we go. Just turn the whole pan. I mean, it's so much easier. There we go. Alright. Now this side is getting ready to go in. Just going to make sure that we baste a little bit underneath the skin and stuff. Even though it's been sitting in the liquid, just make sure that there's enough moisture. And we're going to put it back in the oven for 2 hours or an hour and a half, and then we're going to baste again. After 5 hours of being in the oven at 325, the last 20 minutes or so I turned it up to 350. This is what it looks like. Your pork shoulder. Now when you take your fork, you get on the skin right here and tap it. And it sounds hard. That's exactly what you want. So it's been in the oven for 5 hours. Preheat it at 400 degrees. Turn down to 325. Then the last 20 minutes, I turned it back up to 350. And this is what it looks like. Now that I've taken it out of the oven, you're going to let it sit for 20 minutes or so before you cut it to let the juices sit and run back through the meat. Alright, that is how you make a pork shoulder. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. I post a new video every Friday, so please subscribe.